You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey Days fans, so we just found out, all of us, that Teresa Donovan got a 6-month stint in the slammer for her kidnapping, forgery, and other miscellaneous crimes. And I'm wondering if there's a chance she will come back with a baby bump with no idea who is the daddy. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's dive in and discuss this murky possibility on Days of Our Lives. But first, please subscribe if you're not following us. So we had Teresa in recent weeks doing the horizontal mambo with not one, but 2 different men. Remember, she moved into the Kiriakis mansion with Alex, but into separate bedrooms because at that moment he was insisting he wanted an open relationship because he was having fun boinking Kristen DiMera. But then on Days, Teresa lured Brady Black into her sheets and Alex caught them in flagrante the next morning, and seeing Teresa in another man's arms was a big wake-up call that got Alex to get serious, and that's when he proposed to Teresa. And we all know how badly all that went. The wedding was okay, but then when they were married, 10 minutes, when it exploded, Fiona Cook swanned into town and dropped a nuclear bomb on Alex that he was a fraud, and her boy Xander Cook, aka the other Alexander Kiriakis, was the real heir to Victor Kiriakis' fortune. Teresa knew this was likely a possibility once she found out Bonnie Kiriakis mailed the invite to Xander's mama that she had trashed. So Teresa tried to run, but Xander caught up with her at the airport and vowed to chase her to the ends of the earth for daring to lay her greedy hands on his precious little Victoria. In the end, though, I think he did kind of scare her straight because Teresa went to Maggie Horton, asked her to drive her to the Salem PD, and she turned herself in. And that's when Teresa's big brother, Andrew Donovan, worked out the plea deal. And here's where I'm thinking about this, because Days could easily have just had Teresa run away, never to be seen again. You know, she'd already been off the character canvas for so many years before they did the whole Jen Lilly return and then the recast swap to Emily O'Brien. But the head writer didn't go the Teresa leaving never to be seen again route. Instead, Teresa's fate was to be sent to the local prison, Statesville, and only for 6 months. To me, that seems like the door is wide open for her return. And Soap Digest said they'd gotten an inside tip that Emily O'Brien was not gone for good. So given the timing of all of these events, Teresa would be out of prison around February, March 2025. And it is entirely possible she could show up in town with a big ol' 7-month sized baby bump with no idea if Brady Black or Alex Kiriakis got her pregnant. Yes, I know, who's the daddy stories and surprise pregnancies are overdone on soaps, but rerun Carlavati loves repeats and stale old soap tropes. So I could absolutely see this happening. And yes, right now it looks like Alex is warming back up to his ex, Stephanie Johnson, and Brady Black is improbably in bed with Xander's mom, which is so messy. But Stephanie may not stay with Alex. I mean, they're not even romancing yet. We haven't even gotten to that point. And simultaneously, we have Chad DiMera maybe getting his wife back if this Marin girl is really Abigail, but she may not be. And if not, of course, Chad could still fall for her anyway. And that might somehow give him the closure he needs to move on from Abby once and for all and give his heart fully to Stephanie. That would get Stephanie out of the way and leave Alex totally single and lonely. As for Brady, this fling with Fiona Cook is not a romance. Let's be clear on that. It is a booze-filled disaster in the making. Brady and Fiona go out drinking and driving this week, and it looks like while he's passed out in the passenger seat, Fiona runs over Dr. Sarah Horton, and Brady might wind up framed for it because Fiona is not going to go down for the crime. She is cleaning up evidence later this week to try and cover her tracks, so who knows? if Brady goes down for it, Theresa might see her ex behind bars at Statesville with her, because I do think Fiona may convince Brady that he was behind the wheel. She may even be able to convince the local cops. And 6 months from now, when Theresa is set to be released, it's conceivable that both Alex and Brady are single, ready to mingle. And of course, we know Brady has a knack for being unlucky with pregnancies. Remember how his daughter Rachel Black was spawned? Kristen wore a Nicole Walker mask, covered up her dragon, it was a dragon tattoo, a phoenix, dragon phoenix. I'm trying to picture it in my mind. Anyway, her big old tattoo, and she slid into Brady's sheets. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And he's got a kid with crazy Kristen when he thought he was hooking up with Nicole. So it would be pretty interesting if Brady got Theresa pregnant that one night. It would be a much younger sibling for their son, Tate Black. And in terms of Alex, I think it would be a little startling to see him turn into a daddy. But now that Justin Kiriakis is back in his life, at least Alex would have a role model for parenting. So, will Emily O'Brien be back to Days of Our Lives as the leaks have hinted? Well, we've heard backstage chatter that she is a favorite of the powers that be at the soap. So much so that they reportedly did Jen Lilly dirty and gave Emily her role while not even giving Jen a courtesy notice that she had been replaced as Theresa. And that scoop, my friends, came directly from Jen Lilly herself. I'll drop a link to that video where I spilled all that tea at the end of this one. Check it out if you haven't already seen it. So yeah, the stars may align for Theresa's return, and that would explain why they left the door wide open for a comeback after her 6-month term behind bars. I doubt they would bring Emily back as Gwen Rizchak. I mean, why bother? She doesn't have any ties in town at this point, and Gwen wasn't exactly a fan favorite. Theresa, on the other hand, was a schemer that Days fans adore. So we'll see how it goes. And of course, it'll be closer to 2025 before we know for sure. But I definitely think it would be very exciting, very interesting to see Emily O'Brien back next year. You know, maybe she gets a jailhouse visit from Maggie or Tate, and they see that her Statesville denim uniform is bulging at the belly with a baby that's almost due. That would certainly be a splashy way for Theresa's return to turn Alex and Brady's lives upside down. Brady might be torn about her being pregnant if it is his kid, but he probably wouldn't mind Tate having a full-blooded sibling, and he does love his kids. And I don't think Alex would want Theresa back, but the idea of getting to be a daddy might intrigue him. So we'll see how it goes. Be sure to check out that Jen Lilly video that I'm going to drop at the end. Look on the end screen. Subscribe if you're not following us, please, and definitely drop your comments. Would you like to see Theresa back and baby bumping next year? This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, talking days with you 7 days a week.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.